Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see important current affairs of 18th December 2025. So let's get started with our discussion, guys. And first of all, let us see the important topics of the day. The first important topic is Kerala eyes freight electrification with 8-truck corridor under PM EDRIVE. So here you have to see about the scheme PM EDRIVE, and there's a very high chance of getting a question in your prelims, guys. And next topic is ICG, Indian Coast Guard ship Sarthak makes first port call at Iran's Chabahar port. So in this article, you have to know about certain details regarding this Indian Coast Guard ship Sarthak, and even you have to see what is the meaning of port call. And next one is about some details regarding this Chabahar port of Iran. And this topic is important from IR point of view, and even from your GS paper 1 geography, and even from GS paper 3 under economy also, this article is very important. And next topic is Indian Army leaves for Desert Cyclone-II military exercise. Again, one more military exercise in news. You have to see between which country it is going on, and it is army exercise. And this topic is important from defense and as well as from GS paper 2 under international relations point of view. And next topic is Rearguard action. So this article is talking about regarding climate change. So how government has to take certain steps to control this climate change, and this topic is important from environment and ecology. And next topic, it is about change for the words. As you all know that we are going to scrap this MG Narega scheme and we are going to come up with this new scheme, and regarding that the bill had been proposed in Lok Sabha. So regarding that, this article is talking. So this article is very important from your governance from GS paper 2. And next topic is why have Thailand-Cambodia border clashes flared up again. This article is talking about issues between Thailand and Cambodia border, and this topic is important from international relations. Regarding this topic, I already made a one short in Telugu in our Telugu channel. I think it had been around 7 to 10 days back I made that. So just watch that short, guys, so that you'll be getting in details about this, what is this issue. And next topic, it is about how is the Aravalli range to be protected. So this article is talking about Aravalli Great Green Wall project. And this topic is important from environment and ecology from GS paper 3. So these are the articles that we are going to discuss in this class. So please be focused, and we are going to see from both prelims and mains point of view, and especially online students who are watching this video, please do watch until last so that you will be getting lots of insights regarding how question can be framed from these topics from mains and as well as prelims point of view. And at last, I am going to give you prelims practice questions as well. Okay, see this article, guys. Look at the title. Kerala eyes freight electrification with 8-truck corridor under PM EDRIVE. So here you have to know about what is this PM EDRIVE. So please make a note, PM EDRIVE. The full form here is Prime Minister Electric Drive Revolution in Innovative Vehicles Enhancement Scheme. So the full form of this PM EDRIVE is Electric Drive Revolution in Innovative Vehicles Enhancement Scheme. So it is that scheme now. So under this scheme now, especially Kerala government is going to develop model electric trucks, and these trucks are used for freight. Freight means nothing but carrying of goods. So because of this, it is now in use. It is talking about freight electrification. Okay, especially they are going for this electrification of trucks which are used to carry goods from one place to another place under this scheme called as PM EDRIVE. Okay, so how you can expect a question here is, first, a simple question format that you can expect here is consider the following statements regarding PM EDRIVE, and they'll give you 2 to 3 statements or 3 to 4 statements, and they may ask which of the above statements are right or how many statements are right. In yesterday's prelim strategy class, I said how the questions will come from the statement based questions, right? So here you may get that kind of question. And actually it is talking about electrification, right? Apart from this PM drive, we are also having other schemes which focus on electrification. So because of this, you can expect this kind of question. Which of the following schemes are focusing on electrification of vehicles in India? And they'll give you 2 to 3 schemes, and they may ask you which of the above schemes. Okay, that is the second type of question. And third type of question here is they can give you 2 columns. In yesterday's class, I showed you list 1, list 2 based questions will come. On one side, they'll give you the schemes. On one side, they'll give about objectives or like aim of that scheme. And they'll ask you to identify correct pairs. So in these 3 ways, you may get a question from this topic, guys, and you have to focus clearly. Whatever the question which comes, to try to answer that kind of questions. So here you have to see that kind of areas. So here what you have to see, you have to cover certain details regarding this PM EDRIVE, and you have to collect certain schemes related to electrification of vehicles in India. And next, you have to see even other schemes, aims and objectives also. And every year, minimum 3 questions in your UPSC prelims will be there related to the schemes. Okay. So now let us see this topic and let us see some facts regarding this scheme. PM EDRIVE. The full form is Electric Drive Revolution Innovative Vehicle Enhancement Scheme. We came up with this initiative in year 2024 October. No need of remembering how much outlay, but just remember the year when we came up with that scheme. In year 2024 in October month we came up with that scheme. And this scheme came into effect from 1st October 2024 and it will remain in force till 2026 March. So here we came up with this scheme. It will be operating around not completely even 2 years. Okay, it started in 2024 October 1st and is going to end in this March 2026. And the aim of this scheme, it is to accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles and to establish charging infrastructure and to build electric manufacturing ecosystem in our country. So what are the aims? First one is we have to promote electric vehicles. Second one is if you want to promote electric vehicles, first of all, we need to have the charging stations. We want to establish charging infrastructure in our country. And next one is we want to create electric vehicle manufacturing ecosystem in our country. So these 3 are the important aims of this scheme. Because of this, it is going to promote mass mobility through support of public transportation system. Even they are focusing on electrification of this public transport. Now, because of this point which is given in this scheme, Kerala government is going for electrification of trucks. Okay, yeah. And this scheme is focusing on reducing of what? Carbon dioxide emissions. And we want to improve air quality. And next one here is we are also promoting an efficient and competitive EV manufacturing sector in line with Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, guys. So these are the 2 important points that you have to see. Okay, and this scheme is implemented through subsidies and as well as grants. Do you know what is subsidies? If you are buying this electric vehicles, you will be getting certain subsidy from this government. And even government will be providing grants for converting of the public transportation into electric vehicles. So in these 2 methods, this scheme is working. And I'll be giving you the question at last related to this topic. And see this next topic, read the title. ICG Ship Sarthak makes first port call at Iran's Chabahar. So here you have to focus on 3 words. First one is Sarthak, second one is port call, third one is Chabahar port. Okay, here you can get question in this way. Consider the following statements regarding this ICG Ship Sarthak, which is seen recently in news. And they may give you like 3 to 4 statements regarding this ship, and they may ask you to identify correct or incorrect statement. And next type of question is direct fact-based question. Recently, port of call is seen in news. What does it mean? They'll give you ABCD options and you have to select one. And third kind here is, it is talking about Chabahar port. Okay, Chabahar port, right. So we are going for port development in Nicobar. You know about this Great Nicobar project. That means this year there is a very high chance of asking question regarding this ports and countries. So you have to make a list of important ports across the world in which countries they are located. And they may give you this kind of question. List 1 and list 2, identify the correct pairs. Okay, so these 3 types of questions are possible in your examination 2026 prelims case. Okay. Now let us see the context. Indian Coast Guard ship Sarthak An offshore patrol vessel entered Chabahar port in Iran. Some emergency happened for that ship, and now that ship went to this Chabahar port to make it right, to make it correct. So because of this, it is in news. Okay, now let us see certain facts regarding this ship Sarthak. Sarthak is indigenously built offshore patrol vessel. That means normally you know that India is having a very large coastline, and India is having lots of threats from this maritime arena. That means we need to have a proper patrolling. So who will do patrolling in this coastal areas? You know this, coast guards. So for patrolling, they have to use this ships. So this is one such a ship which will be helpful for offshore patrolling. Okay, and it is manufactured by Goa Shipyard Limited. So mostly it is indigenous. It is made in India. And the key features are, so it is the first vessel which is having state of the art equipment. It will be having machinery, it will be having sensors, weapons, which will be helpful to conduct search and rescue operations. For example, suddenly any ship had been drowned, or suddenly if there is any ship had been hijacked in Indian waters, obviously we can use this vessel. We can go for search and rescue operations by using this vessel. And this one is we can combat maritime crimes. As you all know that through this maritime route, there is a threat of terrorism to India. And even there is a threat of human trafficking, arms trafficking, smuggling of goods, everything can happen here, right? So here we can combat such kind of maritime crimes. And obviously we can protect our maritime environment by using this ship. And this one here is, it is also having the capability of carrying twin engine helicopter and 4 high speed boats, 1 inflatable boat, etc. so that we can use them in search and rescue operations easily compared to that of other types of ships. And next one is, it is also have the capability of carrying limited pollution response equipment. For example, if there is any oil spill, what we have to do? We have to remove that oil. Or else if you're not removing that oil, means because of this low density of oil will normally float on water. You know, we'll also sometimes lit lamps of water, oil on water, right? So oil on water lamps will make on this Diwalis, and on this Diwali day we'll lit the lamp. That means whenever there is a density difference between the two liquids, the liquid which is having low density will be floating on water, right? Compared to that of water, the density of oil will be less. So what is happening if you're not removing that oil on that water? What happens? It will not allow this oxygen to enter into the water. So because of this, that marine organisms will not get oxygen which is in the required amount. So there will be the death. And even you know, many marine birds, they will be flying on this water and they will be catching the fishes, right? So if this oil is touched to that their fur, what happens? There will be decreasing of this density, viscosity, everything, and they cannot fly. So because of this, they will be succumb in the water. They cannot lift their wings up. That is a one more problem. And next one here is, it will causes environmental pollution. So normally we will go for transporting of this crude oil through this waterways, and this crude oils are nothing but the combination of carbon and hydrogen. They are hydrocarbons. If marine animals, if they are consuming this hydrocarbons, it is not good for them. And even if we consume them, that will lead to the transmission of this carbohydrates from one animal to another animal. That will lead to biomagnification, bioaccumulation. So in this way, there are lots of threats of this oil spill. So here we can use this ship, and we can use certain equipment in this ship so that we can control this oil spill pollution, and we can respond at a right time in the sea. Okay, so that is about your ship. And next, if you see about this, what is the meaning of port of call? According to Monitoring, Reporting and Verification (MRV), it describes this port call as a port of a country where cargo or passenger ship halts to discharge or load or unload the cargo. If we have any emergency, we can go and we can stop our ship in a port, and we can also go for unloading and loading of cargo. So that kind of ports are called as ports of call. Okay, and the vessel may call the said intermediate port and need a stop over due to various reasons, especially for cargo operations, or any repair or any maintenance, or if there is no proper fuel or food in the ship, they can go and they can stop. That kind of ports are called as ports of call. Okay, yeah. Let us see about some facts regarding this Chabahar port. Where it is located, Chabahar port is located in Iran, and India is developing this Chabahar port. Why? To counter Gwadar port of Pakistan. And we are using this Chabahar port to reach which country? Afghanistan, right? Chabahar is Iran's oceanic port, which is very much near to India, and it is situated in Sistan Balochistan province on Markan coast, and it lies in Gulf of Oman. And Chabahar port has two main ports. First one is Sahid Kalantari post, and next one is Sahid Bahesti port. And we are developing this Sahid Bahesti port right now, guys. Okay, yeah. So this is about this. And here, if you see this map, this is our Mumbai. From here, we are going to this Chabahar port, and from here, by using this rail and road networks, we are reaching this Kabul. So here, to counter this Gwadar port of Pakistan, we need to have this help of Iran to have access for this Chabahar port. If Iran is not supporting India, then we cannot reach this Afghanistan that much easily, because Pakistan will not allow us to use land or airspace, right? So we need this Chabahar port for sure to reach this Afghanistan. Okay, let us see the next article. See the title, guys. Indian Army leaves for Desert Cyclone-II military exercise. Again, one more military exercise which is in news. Please make a note. The name of that exercise is Desert Cyclone-II. Desert Cyclone-II. It is between India and UAE. Please make a note. India and UAE. It is between India and UAE. And it is second edition of India-UAE joint military exercise. And it had been scheduled from December 18th to December 30. December 18th to December 30, we are conducting this exercise in UAE. So to participate in that, our Indian Army left India. Okay, because of this, it is in news. And now let us see certain details regarding this exercise. Indian Army joined UAE for this joint military exercise. Name here is Desert Cyclone-II. And this exercise is conducted between India and UAE. And the important aim of this exercise is to enhance interoperability, and we want to increase defense cooperation between India and UAE. Especially we are going for joint training, and we are focusing on cooperation peacekeeping organizations, and as well as counter-terrorism, and to improve stability in this Indian Ocean region. So these are the some important facts that you have to remember regarding this. So they won't ask all these points. If UPSC wants to ask question, they will be asking question regarding recently Desert Cyclone-II is in news. It is an exercise between which and which country. Simple ABCD type of direct fact-based question UPSC can ask. And second one is they will give on one column in the list one, they will give you different types of exercises which are in use, and on another side they will ask you like with which country, India and which country, and they will ask you to identify the correct pairs. Okay, so in this way you can expect a question here in this area. Okay, now let us see the next article, guys. Look at the title. Change for the words. Recently, we came up with a new bill to replace MG Narega. What is the name of that new bill? Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission Gramin. VGR. What is the short form? VBG Ramji Bill. Okay, at least remember G Ramji Bill. Viksit Bharat G Ramji Bill. Okay, now tell me, guys, what are the provisions of this new bill? What we discussed in our earlier class. Okay, 100 to 125 days of work. Next, other things. Now, sharing will be done by both states and central. So, what is the percentage of sharing? 60:40 in normal states. In UTs, it will be 90:10. That means now state has to bear the amount to be paid for this MG Narega or new scheme. Next, other things. They want to go for using of more digital tools. Next. Salaries increase, huh? Okay, so this article is saying that we want to drop this bill. So this article is saying that we want to drop this bill, and they are giving like 3 to 4 reasons why we have to stop this bill. So here, whenever you are getting this kind of articles in the news, especially in this editorials, you have to see what is the present context, what are the proposals, you have to see what are the advantages, and next one is disadvantages. So here, one important advantage of this new bill is from 100 days, now they want to increase it to 125 days. So it is a one good thing. And next they said that during this agriculture time, that means in certain times there will be good work available in the village areas, so we are going to pause that scheme in that time, and again we are going to resume that after that work is done. Especially we have kharif crops and we have rabi crops, right? So normally in the crops we have 3 types: kharif, rabi and ziyad. Especially this kharif time in Telangana and as well as in South India, during this Kharif, we have good work will be available in these rural areas like sowing or transplanting time or else harvesting time. We will be getting good work. At that time, they are going to stop this or pause this, and again after once there is no work after completion of that activities, they are going to again resume this. So these are the 2 important good things which are proposed in this, but there are certain negatives. What are those negatives? First one is, earlier entirely central government used to bear this amount, but now it is asking the state to give 40 percentage. That means what happening here? Increasing of burden. So most of the articles now in today's newspaper are saying that we don't want to accept. Already states have their own headaches. Again, why this headache? Why we don't want this new headache? Especially AP government is not at all accepting this. Okay, so that is a first important problem. And next one here is, if government is providing only 100 days of guarantee work, at that time only government is not providing enough work, and even lots of times there are delays in providing of salaries. But what about this 125 days? That is one more question which raised by this opposition party. And next one here is, they are removing this name Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi. MG scheme full form is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. But here we are removing that Gandhi, and we came up with this VB, Viksit Bharat. So here opposition party are raising one question. I'll show that point clearly. Okay, see here one line. Gandhi, we are removing this name Gandhi in this new bill, with this new bill, and this Gandhi name in this 20-year-old scheme signifies the link to his Gram Swaraj concept that gives importance to democratic decentralization. But this new bill is not having that name. So because of this, what is happening here? This Gram Swaraj, the idea is completely overthrown or completely shadowed. That is one more reason which is mainly highlighted by this opposition party. Because this MG scheme will focuses on providing of job in rural areas only. So they will focus on Gram Swaraj. But now this Viksit Bharat will not completely focusing on this Gram Swaraj, right? Viksit Bharat is nothing but we have to get this developed category status. That means, are we focusing on only rural in this Viksit Bharat? So that is one more negative thing, or one more question which mainly raised by this opposition party leaders. So because of this, you are saying that we have to drop this bill. And what do you think? Please think from your own perspective and and come up with your own ideas. I don't want to involve anything here. Okay, so what are the key changes now? We came up 100 days to 125 days of guaranteed work. And this one here is shift from centrally sponsored scheme with shift to a centrally sponsored scheme with 60:40 funding. And for northeastern states and Himalayan states, it is 90:10%. Earlier, it was fully funded by this government, central government. And next one here is, it enhances digital tools like biometric authentication, AI analytics for transparency. And many areas in rural areas, in remote areas, there is no internet facility. How can we use all those things? That is one more question. And next one is it allows pauses during peak agriculture seasons. Okay, so why it should be dropped? First one here is many opposition party leaders, you're saying that it will dilute the right to work. MG Narega is a demand-driven, right-based entitlement. So the new bill makes it allocation-based and schematic. So because of this, what happens? It will not exactly provide this right to work. And this one here is increased burden on states because of the 60 is to 40 and 90 is to 10. Obviously, it will increase this burden on this. So it will undermine cooperative federalism. State cannot, or sometimes state may not provide support to the central government. And this one is centralization of power. Now central gains more control over allocations, implementation areas, norms, etc. And this one is removal of name Mahatma Gandhi. So because of this, it undermines this Gram Swaraj idea. And next one is this bill had been introduced suddenly without any consultation with the stakeholders. So opposition party are demanding that we need to refer this for a committee so that we can get wider consultation regarding this. So these are the reasons which are mainly said by this opposition party and as well as in this discussions, debates in this Lok Sabha, and finally they are saying that we have to drop this bill and come up with your own ideas regarding this case. Yes or no? If yes, why? If no, why? I don't want to interfere here. Okay, see here. Next article, Rearguard action. So this article is talking about climate change, guys. As you know, in yesterday's news, one news had been highlighted. What is that news? Because of fog, buses had been stopped on the road. Suddenly what happened? Because of this collision, bus fire happened, and around how many members? 60 members, I think. Around 60 members died in that fire accident. It is because of climate change. It is because of pollution, guys. Because of this, now this article, it is just match. It is loss of life here. 60 people is not a small thing. Okay, I don't want to talk about that match here. Okay, see here. So now we are in this winter season. It is also called as fog season. And because of this climate change, because of this adversity, now accidents are happening in this North Indian part. Why there is accidents? Because of this fog. What is happening? There is no visibility. We can't see. If you get up around 4:30 or 5 p.m. or 5 a.m. or like 5:30 a.m. or 6 a.m. At that time, we can say everything will be like white in color. Can you see properly? And even big buildings cannot be visible in that time because of this dense fog. The same thing happened, especially whenever we are going for this early morning journeys, we cannot have the proper visibility on the roads. That will lead to common accidents. So the same thing happened, and because of this accident, around 60 people they lost their life. Okay, so now this article is saying that especially in this Mumbai, Kolkata and Indo-Gangetic areas, because of bad air quality and because of air pollution, there is thick intense fog which is happening. So because of this, there is no proper visibility. And this article is saying that increasing of accidents are happening, especially on this Yamuna Expressway in Mathura. And even airline operations in Delhi had been stalled. If there is no visibility, even we cannot fly these aeroplanes. And because of this, delaying of aeroplanes are happening in this Delhi airport. And here in Delhi, we imposed recently Graded Response Action Plan 4. In this Graded Response Action Plan 4, we banned construction activities and demolition activities. We went for online schools and we restricted the vehicles movement on the roads. All these things we did recently. But even though we are not controlling the air quality in this Delhi. So this article is saying that. So we should not take steps only when we are getting this kind of problems. Throughout year, we have to take the steps to control this air pollution. So if you see this last paragraph here in this last 4 lines, they are saying that we have to come up with one empowered body to deal with this air pollution throughout the year. And we have to stress on giving it independence, and we have to take year-round action to ensure whatever the weather is, and we have to maintain proper air quality, guys. That's the thing which mainly said. So here, if you are a commissioner for this Delhi, so what kind of steps you will take to control this air quality in your area? So you have to think about that. And many of you from engineering background, you know more technology than me. So you have to think about which kind of technologies we can use to control this air pollution. Recently, what kind of steps took by this Delhi government? Cloud seeding, artificial rainfalls edit, and even artificial mist generators. And next we have Commission for Air Quality Management, CAQM is there, and we have graded response action plan. Despite of all these things, we are not able to control air quality. So you people have to think about what can be done furthermore so that we can control this air quality in the long term and short term. Okay, think about this, guys. And today I'll be giving you question on this. పాత పాయింట్స్ రాయకుండా పాత చింతకాయ పచ్చడి లాంటి పాయింట్స్ రాయకుండా సో కమ్ అప్ విత్ ద న్యూ ఐడియాస్ సైన్స్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ యూజ్ దట్ టెక్నాలజీ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అండ్ ట్రై టు రైట్ ద న్యూ పాయింట్స్. So see here, guys, this topic, and I'm expecting this time the question will be there in temple architecture. They may ask question regarding the Shiva temples. Focus on the Shiva temples this time. Okay, see the title. Why have Thailand-Cambodia border clashes flared up again? So Thailand, Cambodia, they are sharing the border, and again there are border disputes which had been raised. The border dispute is about one temple, guys, and the name of that temple is Pre Viher. Okay, Pre Viher's temple is the issue between this Cambodia and Thailand. Thailand says this temple belongs to me. Cambodia says this temple belongs to me. And recently they went to this ICJ, International Court of Justice, and International Court of Justice gave the judgment in 2016, if I'm not wrong. In that event also ICJ said that this temple belongs to Cambodia only. But recently what happened in the month of November only, in the month of November or the last ending of November, so this Thailand forces, they were guarding across this temple, and Cambodia forces, they came up with the firing. Around 3 people were died. 3 Thailand related forces, they were killed. And again now Thailand started air strikes against this Cambodia now. So again this issue had been erupted. And recently Trump came up with some statements, right? So I stopped many wars across the world. So one more war Trump had stopped here is this Thailand and Cambodia. And in month of October 2025 itself, he made an agreement between this. He involved an agreement between this Thailand and Cambodia. But finally, that agreement had been broken. And again, the issues are going on between Thailand and Cambodia. So what are the claims said by Trump? Is coming out of that. Okay. So because of this, it is in news, guys. So if you see here, this article is saying that on December 8th, Thailand launched air strikes to Cambodia. But from the ending of this November itself, the issues are going on. Finally, on this December 8th, Thailand launched air strikes on this Cambodia. And after the clashes erupted along their disputed border, with both the sides accusing each other of breaching US brokered ceasefire. In October 2025, US brokered a ceasefire between this Thailand and Cambodia, and both the sides, they said that yes, Cambodia breached that ceasefire, and even Thailand breached that ceasefire. So between these two countries, the issues had been erupted, and again they started air strikes on one another. And this issue is related to one temple. The name of the temple is Pre Vihar. So you may get this kind of question. Recently Pre Vihar is seen in news. What it is? They'll give you ABCD options. In that they'll give you a temple, a rocket, like that. They will be giving you 4 options, and this Pre Vihar is a Shiva temple in Cambodia. Or else you may get this kind of question. Recently Pre Vihar temple is in news. In which of the following country it is located? Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos. So the answer will be, it belongs to Cambodia. Okay. At the border level, de-escalation should build on measures attempted under October agreement, including verifiable troop withdrawals, joint demining, and direct military communication. Now this article is saying that if you want to de-escalate the situations, again we have to follow whatever the agreement which had been signed in October 2025, which had been brokered by this US. Okay, now let us see some facts regarding this temple, Pre Vihar temple. It is a Hindu temple located located in this Preah province, and it is present in the northern part of Cambodia. And it is situated on a cliff on Cambodia Thailand border on one mountain range, and the name of that mountain range is Dan Grek. On this Dan Grek mountain range we have this temple, and this temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. And this temple was built by this Khmer Empire in 11th and 12th centuries, and was built firstly by King Suryavarman I and then expanded by Suryavarman II king. And after that, it got recognition from this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, it is also UNESCO's World Heritage Site, guys. Okay, now let us see the next article. Title says, how is the Aravalli range to be protected? As you all know that where this Aravalli range located, what is the location? So here we have this range, Aravalli range. Aravalli range is old folded mountain. Old folded mountain. And here to the west, what we have? Which desert? Thar Desert. And if you see this image, what can you understand? Deserts will expand, yes or no? Why? Because of whenever there is a very high speed winds are blowing, that will carry the sand, and that sand will be extended. So because of this, what happened? Wherever we have desert, there is a chance of extension of this desert in the different sites. That is the main reason why the Sahara is a very big desert, and that entire region is called as Sahel region, right? So here, because of this Aravallis which is present here, we are stopping the extension of this Thar Desert to some extent. But now what is happening in this Aravalli ranges here is, we are going for mining in this region. So because of mining here, whatever the environment, whatever the ecosystem which is located there, that is getting destroyed now. So because of this, we are going to construct one project called as Aravalli's Great Green Project. And this Great Green Project is not at all innovation of India. We copied from Africa. Okay. So in Africa, we have a major desert called as Sahara Desert. To stop this extension of Sahara Desert, they came up with this Sahara Great Green Project. And we copied that, and we came up with the name called as Aravalli's Great Green Project, and we are implementing that in our country. So here you may get directly a prelims based question regarding this Aravalli's Great Green Project, and you have to know the story regarding this Aravalli's Great Green Project. And recently Supreme Court involved in this, and Supreme Court gave a statement. You have to know why Supreme Court gave a statement regarding that. Okay, now let us see the history of this. If you see about the story so far, the Supreme Court in the last month, settled on a uniform definition of Aravalli hills and ranges, and paused the grant of fresh mining leases inside its area spanning Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. So last month, Supreme Court involved, and what Supreme Court said is, Supreme Court gave definition for what is this Aravalli hills and ranges, and it paused. Paused means nothing but it stopped giving licenses for mining activities in these regions. Which are those regions? Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. So because of this is in news. Now let us see before this what happened. Okay, if you see the story goes back to 1990s. In 1990s, our Ministry of Environment had laid down certain rules for restricting mining to only sanctioned projects, but have been flagrantly violated. In 1990s, our Environment Ministry, we have a ministry which will be focusing on protection of environment, right? That is Ministry of Environment. That ministry came up with the stopping of license. Already whatever the projects which had been sanctioned, the license is given to only projects which had been approved earlier, so that they can do mining. But what is happening here? Rampant violation of the rules is happening in this Aravalli region. And because of this, in 2009, Supreme Court entered and imposed a blanket ban on mining in this region completely. In 2009, Supreme Court said that no mining should be done. So what are the approvals which had been given by this Ministry of Environment also? We are going to ban all those mining activities in this Aravalli area. So that is a thing which mainly done in 2009. And after that, in 2004, 24 May, Supreme Court prohibited granting of fresh mining leases and renewals in this range. Okay, in this area, they came up with, even the violations are going on after whatever the directions given by Supreme Court. So here Supreme Court again involved, and Supreme Court prohibited, like, we are not going to give any new license, or we are not going to give any renewal for already giving projects, everything. And again, what happened? We came up with Government of India, central government came up with one committee called as Central Empowered Committee. And this committee now gave the work of examination, everything. And now CEC said that we have to provide certain licenses for mining activities. Only limited mining activities can be provided, can be given. But actually this area is very sensitive because we are having protected habitats here, and we are having like water bodies and tiger corridors, and we have key aquifer recharge zones are present here. So here now Supreme Court said that we are not going to give any licenses, and Supreme Court paused giving of licenses. So this is the story which is going on from 1990 onwards. So if you're going for extensive mining, what happens? Exploitation of resources happens. If you're going for exploitation of resources, whatever the environment which is present here, like what are the protected habitats, water bodies, tiger corridors, and aquifers, so they will be getting obviously affected. So because of the Supreme Court ban, it gave like pause for giving of licenses for this mining. So this story which goes back to 1990 onwards. Okay, now recently in 2025, what happened is our central government started Aravalli Great Green Wall project, and they want to expand green cover in 5-kilometer buffer area around Aravallis in 29 districts of Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, and this Delhi. And the important aim of our government is to restore 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030. Please make a note here. On this point, you may get a question. Aravalli Green Wall project is a plan of government to expand green cover in 5-kilometer buffer area around Aravallis in states of Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, and Delhi. Gujarat, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Delhi. And the aim of the government is to restore 26 million hectares of degraded land. 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030. Okay, now let us see the facts of this project. As I said, it is an initiative to increase green cover around 5 kilometers buffer around this Aravallis. And it is part of our Union Environment Ministry's vision to create great green corridors, and we want to combat land degradation as well as desertification. And this project covers Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Delhi. So here you may get questions. So what is that question is, regarding this Aravalli Green Wall projects, which of the following states are covered? They'll give you 4 to 5 and they'll ask you which of the above are correct. And it involves planting of native species of trees and as well as shrubs on this waste and degraded land. And you're focusing on agroforestry and pasture development also, so that they can also enhance livelihood opportunities. So first important objective here is they want to prevent expansion of Thar Desert. First important objective. And next one is, if you are increasing this green cover, obviously we can increase carbon sequestration and we can mitigate climate change. That is the second objective. And third one is, we want to focus on sustainable development and livelihood opportunities. So these are the 3 important aims and objectives of this project. Clear? Okay, now let us see the questions. Read carefully. First question, consider the following statements regarding VBG Ramji Bill 2025. First one, it increases the statutory guarantee of wage employment from 100 days to 125 days per rural household. Yes or no? Second one, it shifts from funding pattern to centrally sponsored scheme with 60-40 center state sharing. Yes or no? It retains the fully demand driven nature of employment provision as in MG Narega. First cause of concern, what I said, why opposition party wants to drop this bill. It is not going to achieve this right to work which had been done in this MG Narega. So is it fully achieving this demand driven nature? So this fully is the keyword here. Fully, if you see this fully, which is changing the entire meaning of this statement. Okay, so what is the answer? 1 and 2 only. Yes, option B is right. Okay, see this next question. Consider the following statements about Aravalli Green Wall project. It covers degraded land in the states of Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat and UT of Delhi. Come on. The project is inspired by Africa's Great Green Wall Initiative aimed at combating desertification in Sahel region. Yes. And next, it seeks to restore 1 million hectares of degraded land and contribute to India's carbon sink targets by 2030. Enta? So here, UPSC will play games with this number. So what is the right answer? And see next one, consider the following statements about Preh Vihar temple. It is located on 525-meter cliff at Dangrek Mountains on the border between Cambodia and Thailand. Mountains. Is the same mountain I said? Dangrek Mountains. Yes or no? Yes. Second one, the temple was inscribed as UNESCO's World Heritage Site in 2008 under Cambodia's nomination. No. Next one, ICJ, International Court of Justice in 1962 ruled, ruled that temple belongs to Cambodia. Check once a year. I think it is 2016 or 1962. Please check once. Okay, so like that you will be getting question. Okay, 1 minute. Let me check here itself. Yeah, it is 1962 only. In 1962, ICJ ruled that Preh Vihar belongs to Cambodia. Okay, so like that, remember the years also. Mountains, I gave no. Mangreke. ఎక్కడుంది? Yeah, Dangrek. Okay. So in this way, you'll get questions. Don't confuse. Okay. So that's all, guys. Online students. By this, I'm concluding. If you really like this class, please hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. Don't forget. And you can follow us on our Telegram channel where we are providing this class notes in PDF format. And also in our Instagram page, we are providing prelims question with answer and mains question with modal answer and also current affairs in short. Don't miss that, guys. Thank you so much.